primary ignition.
I was the Wampa Ice Creature in The Empire Strikes Back, and you're watching the Virtual Cantina Network.
Oh my God!
Hello there.
Look who's over there.
It's Mickey Mouse.
Yes, it's Fat Mickey Vader.
Yeah, I need to refresh that costume before the LA Comic Con.
Absolutely.
I'm working on it.
Jeff, welcome. Back coming in and jumping in tonight. We definitely missed you here on the VCM shows.
Well, I'm glad it worked out both for us as well as Dave specifically tonight. He's going through some stuff. So, but yeah, it was, this is a great show. So I'm very happy to be back to watch this show. I really enjoyed it.
And I hope Dave is doing okay. I know he's got some things to take care of, but he had not watched this show. He was actually going to watch it live with us, which I was like, episode 1 has the perfect idea for a T-shirt. Nerf handler.
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
I know. As soon as I heard that, like, oh my God, that's a great T-shirt. But we're back here. We're very excited to be here. A lot of great stuff going on. But Jeff, you've been going to a lot of events and stuff in your sabbatical. What have you been up to?
Let's see. Went to a weird event on Friday that the best part was the open bar and free food. But it was for a thing that Pharrell Williams and has produced. He wasn't at the event, unfortunately.
Oh, Pharrell?
It's like it's like an animated thing with a lot of like hip hop related music. Like Lil Wayne has some sort of connection to it, and a bunch of other people. But it's called something Doodles. I forget exactly, but it was they were kind of kooky little short kind of animated things that were like sort of pun type stuff, which was fun to just kind of watch. A couple of them made me kind of chuckle. And again, we were at an event space in Century City's mall of all places, and they had it was like a nice little overlook kind of area, and they had they called it the premiere of whatever the movie thing was, the Doodle thing. And again, open bar and free passed hors d'oeuvres, and they had some tasty chicken sandwiches and bao buns and all kinds of different stuff that they were passing out. And that was a fun Friday. And then what did I do Saturday? I went to something. But Sunday, I went to see a screening of the 4:30 movie, Kevin Smith's The 4:30 movie.
How was that? I'm thinking of this weekend.
It's got a very 80s kind of, John Hughes vibe to it. There was a lot of comparison in the Q&A to John Hughes movies and things there's a lot of, throwback stuff and references to things. There's some funny Star Wars references, which are great. And I always appreciate that. Right. It's like sort of a time capsule of, I guess, 86. So, I was 17 in 86. Is a very formidable years at that point. So it kind of resonated there. And, it's cool to see the sort of older looking locations. And Kevin talked about that he had been in the Smod Castle, the what was it called? Arcadia or something? Whatever. Anyways, the name of the actual theater, they call it the Smod Castle Cinemas now, but it's still got a legit theater name. He was in there with some other guys, and he was like looking around, and he's like, if I put a camera on this like angle, you couldn't tell what year it is because it's like, seats from the 80s.
Right.
And so that was where the spark of the idea to do a movie that was like a period piece set in, the mid 80s, and, use things that are available to them, as opposed to having to pay, a lot for locations and travel and whatever. So it was fun. It's very low key in terms of like marketing and stuff. But it's a fun movie if you get a chance to watch it. It's not like heavy on the 80s soundtrack. There's a couple of key songs, but the overall sort of score is very kind of got that vibe. And it's got a lot of funny stuff and kooky kind of dated references, and things that, people nowadays might not understand just because it was the 80s. So it was fun. And then he did a Q&A afterwards, and he brought up the the star who was actually his daughter's boyfriend and was in Clerks 3, I think he was in.
Austin.
He played Blockchain Coltrane.
Yeah. And he did that Sun in Lockdown thing during COVID, which was about Austin being locked in with his family at that time.
Right. But so he came up and they did a Q&A for a while until the theater was like, we have another showing in this theater, get the hell out. And then Austin and also Harley Quinn's in it, Kevin's daughter. She plays a role, and if you've seen the trailer, you've seen her role. There's a lot. The section where they show the thing that she's in was probably one of my favorite parts of the movie, because it was basically a trailer reel that they were watching in the theater, and that was one of the trailers, which was amazing if you watch the whole thing. And then there's some post-credit stuff where they do some bloopers and, like Cannonball Run style post-credit scenes that aren't kind of the norm nowadays. It's always some kind of weird story element. But back in the day, if you saw a post-credit scene, it was probably a blooper, and it was very rare to see it. And so they did that, which was fun. Although there is a story element in there too, but then they go into the bloopers and stuff.
That's cool.
And so it was a lot of fun. And Austin and Harley hung out sort of just in the lobby after a while. I think Kevin bugged out right away, but I had seen him right before he went in the theater, so I was able to get a selfie with him, and a selfie with Austin, and a selfie with Harley. And so they hung out after the movie for a minute, and I just sort of talked to him for a few. I didn't talk to Harley too much, but I was talking to Austin about some of the stuff. It was funny because some of the things that Kevin revealed during the Q&A, Austin didn't have a clue about, like location stuff and different things, which was funny to see his reaction. But so then what did I do? I don't know if I did anything Monday, but Tuesday I went to see Agatha. It was Agatha All Along, or whatever it's called. I know you went and saw it too. We got posters as well, popcorn and soda, and they did a raffle for Fandango tickets.
We had that too.
Yeah, so my buddy went to El Capitan, and he said they did the exact same thing. And then yesterday I went and saw a fan event for Transformers 1. They gave us posters and keychains and comic books, but I didn't get free soda or popcorn. I had to buy that. But it was fun. Yeah, they did a little intro from the actors and talked about the movie and how it relates to the overall story and stuff. It's a fun little kind of origin story thing. Yeah. So
if you guys have not seen Agatha, it's really good. Like, I was surprised how good it was.
Well, I liked how they leaned into the whole TV show kind of theme, like WandaVision had. Yeah.
But it's really good. If you've not watched WandaVision, especially the last episode, you'll probably be a tad lost. But or at least Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
There are some. Yeah, you kind of need a little bit of context. Yes,
but
Sherry says it was confusing at first.
But no, I absolutely love it. I love where it's going. Excited to see where it goes. Maybe it'll lead into Vision Quest. Who knows? Which would be kind of cool. And then I went to a showing of the 90s classic Hackers.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
At a theater up here. I went with my friend Sean, and who had never seen the movie before, which I was shocked.
I thought you guys were like, when you posted that selfie of you two waiting for it, I was like, these guys are into this movie. And that's kind of funny.
Yeah. So, like, I got this shirt, the Hack the Planet t-shirt for it. And then there was obviously someone else who had the same shirt. And I'm like, damn it, you know. But they brought out Renali Santiago, who plays the Phantom Freak. And they had a pre-show, laser show with a DJ doing like a rave type vibe. And then they held a rave at a theater, at a ballroom that's attached to the theater afterwards. And they did an autograph signing with Renali, and I got a couple of floppies signed. Though he brought his own as well to get, you know, for sale.
Oh, he was already on it, huh?
Oh, he was already on it, and he knew the market. But the funny thing is that I rolled up with an 8x10 picture and 2 floppies. I broke out my bag of pens, and they're like, "Wait, what?" I'm like, "I'm a Comic-Con geek, man. Like, I bring my own shit." Like,
don't rely on them having anything.
I've been the one. Right thing. So
I've been the one with the pen many times, whether I'm getting something signed or it's somebody else.
Right.
Usually it's just a Sharpie.
But I said to Renali, I was like, you know, I grew up in New York in the 90s, so this is not necessarily what I did, but the fact is that the stylistic, you know, clothing and the places we'd hang out and the music was very, you know, like Prodigy and stuff was very prominent at that time in that kind of scene. So he's like, "Oh, that's pretty awesome." You know, we were chatting for a little bit. But yeah, no, like I said, Agatha was great. Great meetup there. A lot of the 501st NEG were there as well. So it was just, you know, chatting with them for a bit, talking about, you know, Rhode Island Comic-Con, which is coming up.
501st were where?
At the Agatha preview.
That's interesting.
Well, they just went to the show. They had tickets. They got the tickets like we did.
And they got the Disney connection or whatever. Yeah, exactly. Oh, okay. But yeah, that's cool.
So, you know, we chat about that and chat about Rhode Island Comic-Con, which, speaking of the Kevin Smith era, even though he had a small role in Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back, announced Sean William Scott today. So that was, you know, pretty funny. And now everybody's like figuring out what property they're going to get him to sign.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was that whole discussion.
Which I think I'm going to go with probably Jay and Silent Bob Strikes Back. Just because it's unusual. Though, if you're a fan of Dude, Where's My Car? I actually did find a bubble wrap suit on Amazon that I'm highly considering.
Get a still of James Earl Jones doing the Letterman Top 10 with the line that he said where he's like, "Dude, where's my car was robbed," or something like that for an Oscar.
But no, I mean, like I said, a lot of great stuff going on. Don't forget, in 2 weeks from today, a whole slew of us are going to be in Nashville, Tennessee for ICC Con. I'm just going to call it that because I always put too many C's.
Well, I've been hearing people referring to it as IC cubed.
I see cube. I like that. I think that should be a T-shirt for them. Well, if we were in the con, there would be a T-shirt for that. We know that,
right.
Because we're kooky like that. But no, very excited about that. We will be having. Troy will be there. Very excited to see you, Troy. So very excited about that show. A lot of old, you know, OT people. A lot of people coming from England, as far as the talent is concerned, which is great. A lot of, you know, like
they have that draw. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, Paul Blake, Greedo, Dennis Lawson, Angus McGuinness. Anthony Forrest, some really great names. And then obviously our good friend Chris Bartlett's going to be there, and Amy Allen will be there with Michonne. I don't know how to pronounce her name, the one who plays R. Singh in Pickles. But we are actually bringing for Boonty Eve in Nashville our good friends John Goodson and Lauren Vogt. And it was just announced at 11:15 on Saturday, October the 5th. There's going to be a panel called Visual Magic of the Prequels with John and Lauren.
Nice.
So that's going to be a really good panel. And if you were with us in San Francisco, they have a crap ton of stories to tell. Both great people. And I'm very excited to bring them to this show as part of our Boonty Eve, special edition, our final one of the year. So, we're very excited.
Unless there's another one.
Oh, no.
You never know.
You never know, but I did say to John the other day, and Frank the other day, I'm like, we ran 4 this year, and I've been going strong since London. So, yeah, Japan's going to be a break. Even though we're going to a bar, we're just showing up. So,
yeah, pretty much.
But no, it's going to be a great time. Looking forward to seeing all of our family members that are going to be down in Nashville with us. But on the same weekend, you got LA Comic-Con, and you're going to have a little bit of a meetup as you normally do for a picture.
Yeah, there's a good selection of celebrities for the autograph area, but I'm going to try to cosplay. I got a guest badge from one of the people that run LA Comic-Con, so I want to sort of make a presence with my maybe a slightly updated version of Fat Mickey Vader, or at least a refreshed suit, and we'll probably be Mando's Lamont and I. I know he loves that costume. I am sort of torn on mine, but he gets all the attention, I think, is the problem when we go, when there's both of us, it's all like focused on him, although I'm the more original look. He looks kind of like he could be the Mando, sort of. Not really, but kind of. It's got that more of that sort of metallic look.
Right.
And also he's taller, and so draws the eye, maybe. I don't know. But that's fine. Whatever. So hopefully ideally I'll have Fat Mickey Vader out and about on Saturday. I probably will stay. Yeah, Mando envy, Troy. I probably will stay in costume for the meetup and then change out after that, depending. I know Melissa was saying there's a panel shortly after the time that there you go. Shortly after the time that I chose randomly for this meetup. I could have done it at noon or 1 or whatever, and I just put that background back up. Here, I'll do it. There we go. What's it called? I just sort of hadn't seen any schedule on their website, and that's the problem, is that they put everything in their app. So now the app and the schedule's out. So after I chose that time is when they decided to say what was happening, and so that's a little bit of a bummer that it might coincide with some other things, conflict a little bit. But Leilani may be there. Maybe she'll drag some of her friends. Last week, a week ago Thursday, I was hanging out with her at Sky Bar for one of the parties that she gets invited to, and was lucky to meet Frank Todaro, I believe is how you pronounce his last name. And he's a voice actor that does a lot of stuff, including he sat in for some of the original Transformers voice actors when they did a read of one of the TV show episodes from the 80s. And I'm not sure, I didn't check the credits this time. I had to go to the bathroom really bad, but I knew that there was a post-credit scene just from, like, I got a feeling. I didn't actually know specifically for Transformers 1 that there was a post-credit scene. So I ran to the restroom, came back, and sat down to watch the post-credit scene. But it was cool to meet him and talked to him about huge Star Wars fan. I was wearing my racer from the family vacation, and it got a lot of attention from him and some other people. I got a few compliments on it, which I thought was kind of funny. I think I had this hat on too, and I probably got some compliments. I didn't have the ears, but this Rancor is a great. Leilani's actually a producer. She's done work with hip hop artists and stuff. She has a pretty solid repertoire of things that she's done besides her acting and stuff. So, but I remembered, that was fun hanging out last Thursday. I remember what I did on Saturday. I went to, of all places, Disneyland and met up with Mike. We were trying to meet up with John, but I couldn't stay. He was taking a little longer to get there. And Kareen was in DCA hanging out with another one of her friends, so I missed hanging out with her, but she did connect with Mike before Mike came and connected with me. We hung out in the bar, Oga's for a minute, and rode Rise of the Resistance, and then grabbed some food, and I was on my way to, of all things, a screening of this, Rebuild the Galaxy, and that was also in Century City Mall. And I showed up late for it, so I missed the first episode, but I came in pretty much for the second episode. So they showed the first two there, and it was cool because it was in this like open courtyard area with like lawn chairs and a big screen that like a LED screen, and some good sound. And from what I saw later, there was a handful of semi-notables that were there, including was it her name,
Christina Ariel was there with her family.
Yeah, I always forget her name for some reason, but yeah, she posted something with the white Vader.
Yep.
I got a shot later on with that white Vader, so that was fun. And they gave us I was going to bring them and show them. They gave us little like mini movie poster like cards, and one of them's Jedi Bobby Moynihan, and one of them is Greedo and Han, I think, or Greedo and Leia, because spoiler alert, sorry. And then the third one is Jar Jar superimposed on the original Phantom Menace trailer, where it was little Anakin casting a shadow onto a hut on Tatooine that was Vader, and that's Jar Jar in brick form. Casting a Vader shadow, which is funny because
we were talking about this a couple weeks ago. I broke out I think it was from Rhode Island Comic-Con 22. Ahmed was there, and I actually got a picture of Darth Jar Jar signed.
Right. Yeah,
and he actually said to me, "Don't put this on social media. Disney doesn't like this phenomenon that is Darth Jar Jar." And look at 24.
They embraced it.
It's like Darth Jar Jar can't hurt you, kids. Guess what? Darth Jar Jar.
He exists. That one of those articles I posted in one of the chats does kind of break down the whole process from the directors on how they had these like crazy ideas when they were younger, and then were able to make them come to fruition in this show, which is fun because I like how the Lego stuff kind of just goes off the rails. They do whatever the hell they please, and this one is really insane because it's a lot of combined things, so it's kind of fun.
Lego combined. See what you did there.
Rebuild the galaxy, after all.
Max, see, that's exactly when they first made the announcement about this.
Kind of. Very similar.
Yeah, I actually thought this was probably the equivalent of a What If. I mean, I remember, what was it, like 2003, I worked at Walden Books, name drop, at a mall.
Bookstore.
I know, a bookstore. And they had Star Wars graphic novels, and there was a graphic novel about if Vader survived and being put into a white suit from from there. So to me,
they play off of all these weird little deep cuts, like that one. I've actually seen people cosplay in that version of Vader, which is pretty interesting to see. It's a juxtaposition. It's like seeing the prototype white Boba Fett versus the colored version or any of the other Mandos since then.
Hey, Chris, how are you?
So
just to plug right now, we are going to be watching tonight the first 2 episodes of Rebuild the Galaxy. You know, right now, obviously, we're vamping towards Skeleton Crew, which we got some pictures. We now know Urkel is not Hondo. Thank you.
Yes.
That
would be a waste of his voice, I think, if they were trying to make him
that
Hondo.
You know, if the fandom like flips out about the color of like Thrawn, like that he's dad bod Thrawn, or you know the Cad Bane, the color is not right, or you know you got the first the Grand Inquisitor doesn't look like he's from
His head's
Upatow.
not oblong enough or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
It was.
So I think the fact that that if we had that, people would be freaking out about it. So
yeah,
it is what it is.
Complaints.
Yeah, so we're gonna watch the first 2. But yes, the Skeleton Crew looks really great. You can see a little bit of close up of everything there, including our good friend Marty Batulis as Vane.
It was very cool to see that display. They had life-size, sort of mannequin versions of Vane and a couple of the other characters, there to get photos with. And it was like, that's really, really kind of a cool thing to have. I'm imagining those are going to make the rounds and show up other places.
Well, I can confirm that Marty
life-size action figure.
Marty is going to be our guest on December the 5th for episodes 1 and 2 of Skeleton Crew.
Oh, very cool.
He's going to kick it off with us for that, which is great. We're working on other guests right now, but I wanted to at least mention Marty because Marty has been on our show before, as well as at Bunta Eve in London. So very excited about seeing Marty again and chatting stuff with him. And Maxie says, this is the best thing from Lego Star Wars compared to any I showed there years ago. I like Summer Vacation. I thought that was a lot of fun. And the holiday special.
That was more recent. The
holiday special was a lot more fun than the original holiday special, in my opinion. But
almost everything they've done Star Wars related, I think, is really cool and fun. Probably actually all of it, as far as I'm concerned. Even like the Freemaker series, which this is kind of like an extension of, I feel, because the way that it's just using the Force to make stuff, as it were. Spoiler alert, sorry. But it's time to watch almost. We're only a minute or so away. Make sure you got the D+ queued up. Episode 1 of Rebuild the Galaxy. Part 1 is what they're calling it.
No, it's interesting. All very, very cool. So please make sure you have your Disney Plus all queued up as we're about to start momentarily and watch that. But we thank you all for joining us tonight. We're very excited about all of our members joining us on any of our programming. So, we have a lot of stuff here on the Virtual Cantina Network, a lot of different things to tickle your fancy. But we're about at that time, Jeff. So if you want to hit the 10-second countdown, we'll get started.
Let's see if I can remember how to do it. There we go. And I love seeing that Lucasfilm logo. It doesn't matter what it's on. So I thought this was interesting because they put a lot more humanoid type characters,
and
then the Gonk instead of just helmets.
Right.
You get like an Ewok and you get a Greedo and whatever in there.
I mean, I love the Lucasfilm, the new. I mean, well, it's been not new, but it's been for a while. But I mean, nothing still beats the green.
Oh, the original,
yeah.
kind of spooky way to start this.
Speaking of spooky, did you see that they announced a Sideshow Bob's special coming out next month?
Yeah. Looks like it has some Agatha vibes. I love this transitions. Yeah. Wilhelm scream. Yeah, there we go. It's great that they got Mark.
Oh, no, that was absolutely fantastic.
This is funny. Whoops. Another one of the deep cuts.
And the liberties that they've taken with this, I mean, the fact that, we'll see some spoilers, but, not just gone into the prequels, but also into, some things that they've done in the last 2 years.
They do kind of touch on everything from 77 on.
Yes, he was a consulting producer on this. Turn the page of the Book of Boba Fett. It's like we were talking about like a while ago.
That's why I wore this shirt tonight, just for that one line. Nerfs. We get to see some nerfs. I don't know if we've seen nerfs much at all ever.
Yeah, I was actually shocked about this. I prefer Nerf Handler. Nerf Handler needs to be a virtual Cantina t-shirt. I'm telling you.
I think the AJ and JT need to change their show name.
Nerf Handler Council, yes. Well, at least for next week.
One episode.
Yes.
He's using a Minoc as like a gardening utensil.
Yeah. He's got a hoe and a Minoc that turns into a face hugger.
Yeah. The way that they use, like, everything for the most part is bricks. The grass looks least like bricks, but the rocks, like, they look really good from a distance, and when you get close, you really start to see that brick detail, which I think is a lot of fun.
They do travel in herds.
Wow. Don't make me wave my stick. Well, that didn't work.
You shall not pass.
So the main character, is it Sig?
Yeah, Sig is Gator Monrazo.
Yeah, from Stranger Things. And Sig is short for specialty figure or something like that. Signature figure.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a reference to a Lego thing. And then his last name is, I guess they're both their last names, is Greebling. And that's using Greeblies in a Lego way, which is, I'm sure Troy is very familiar with. But even there, it's like they got all these weird little deep cuts. It's like he made him a little bed to fall in. He could have probably stopped his actual movement.
It's kind of like Emmett as Master Builder, the Lego movie.
Mm.
Would Emmett have the Force?
It could be implied.
Right.
Years.
MBD. I actually, Chris, yeah. I have my Minoc right over on the side over here.
I considered getting that and ended up not. But Yeah, Greeblies are. But the last name is Greebling.
Colin's been getting some good references in season 3 of Mandalorian. They had a Cantwell class ship. It was right after he passed too. So.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, this is just such an enjoyable episode. The whole season, it's just enjoyable.
Yeah, I'm kind of bummed it's only 4 episodes,
but
they are a good kind of story, so that works. I only got I had only seen the first 3 when I got to go to that screening thing, and then I missed the first one and only saw the second one again. So then I came home and I think I watched it later the next day and got all through all 4. Be normal.
It's amazing what they can do with the animation.
They take a little bit of liberty with the way that the figures themselves move and bend, but for the most part it's like you were just playing with your own kind of toys kind of thing.
I mean, that's what, like, if not to say that it's a good reference or not, but if you've ever seen like the Barbie movie, they play on that quite a bit as well. Like the feet is on an angle, and they can only bend a certain way. And
right, she's very much a doll, and then has that realization. Spoiler alert. His droid is classic.
Yeah, it could have lasted as a movie. I would agree with you there, Chris. I think we said the same thing about the last 4 episodes of Clone Wars season 7, that could have been its own movie in its own right.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is that it'd be like an hour 45 or something if they hadn't made it into one full length movie or something. So the time frame would have worked fine. Having it be 1 episode, maybe they're thinking of attention span for younger viewers or something. Mm-hmm. The kids that were watching at the little screening thing I went to some of them were into it, but a lot of them were just running around doing the nonsense kids do. Uh-oh.
Predictable and safe.
Oh no.
Run, Nerf, run.
I like how he can pull that giant beast back up over the cliff. I like how they have the seam, like where the hands were made in the form or whatever.
Yeah. I love that Bobby Monahan dressed as Jedi Bob for the premiere.
Yeah. He's in that article they talk about how he had the original Jedi Bob minifigure in his pocket every day when he recorded. That's
great.
That's my next goal, is if he shows up for the next live read for Revenge of the Sith in November. I want to try to get him to sign the little Jedi Bob card that I got.
Awesome. Hey, Pete from the future.
Oh yeah, Pete's crazy like that.
Yeah, he is.
They kind of stumble across this a little too easily, but
Well, the thing is almost like the temple on the fall.
right.
Just one kyber crystal get us off. Wait a minute.
Yeah, it's a little too easy.
The Force is awakening, bro. I snickered a lot.
There's a lot of tongue-in-cheek kind of stuff. And like you said, they're all over in terms of who they rib or reference from the original trilogy all the way through the sequels and the TV shows. So pretty strong.
Yeah, I know. There's an Order 66 movie that links season 7 with Jedi Fallen Order, with live action, with so many different properties.
The whole chronological path of that part of the story.
I forgot. Yeah, I thought he looked familiar. Flash Thompson from the Spider-Man movies is Dev.
Huh. You mean the voices?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't recognize his name when I was looking at the credits.
They're very much tongue-in-cheek on it.
And they really they stick it to certain parts of the property. So that's, I'm surprised the whiny haters haven't gotten all bent out of shape at how much they do that.
Right.
See, I have one issue with this. They call that the cornerstone, and it's not in the corner, first of all.
Right.
It's more like a keystone, although it's not really a keystone either. Uh-oh. But, they could have had it actually in the corner of the thing or something. I don't know. Uh-oh. It's falling apart. I like how there's plants and stuff growing inside. Ooh. So this starts to sort of gets like a weird sort of Loki kind of idea with this whole multiverse thing or whatever.
Right.
This is funny though. Rebel walkers.
Yeah, this is probably one of my favorite scenes of like all the changes.
In that shot of the battle droids playing the Jarek set, there's a skeleton version of Uncle Owen.
How this one?
Salt to pepper. Salt. Yeah. This with Salacious Crumb.
Yep.
Weird mix-ups.
And Sebulba sitting in the chair.
Yeah, they have.
Instead of Gamorrean, if they want to make it funny, it should have been Dexter's Diner.
Oh, that would have been that would have been good. Or somebody in Dexter's outfit.
Right. This gave me very much a Temple of the Fall type of vibe. When the destruction of the temple.
Right. This, oh my God, this part. I was like, oh
You know,
no.
this reminds me of this is the extra scene at the end of Army of Darkness when Ash wakes up and he's like, I slept too late.
It's a trap. So dumb.
Akbar troopers.
You know that there's going to be a whole bunch of 501st wandering around with Akbar masks
Absolutely.
on now.
They've been very lenient about people taking shots at them on the shows. I mean, I was talking with somebody yesterday about Deadpool Wolverine on how,
Oh, yeah.
Kevin Feige basically said there's only one thing that's off limits. Otherwise, have fun. And they were willing to, talk about everything they did about Disney. So
Yeah, they can do a lot of ribbing. Hmm. Whoops. Porkins.
you're right. The business end of my gaffy stick.
It's vaguely a gaffy stick. But...
Right. I'd rather kiss on my knock.
Ooh. Uh-huh.
You're copying me.
Stop copying me.
They were close.
Where's the original bounty hunter version of Akbar or whatever?
Right.
Or whatever the opposite would be. Senator.
I love how the X-wings have like the TIE fighter cockpit.
Very much a cross version of it. That's where the one of the first ships they showed was it was like a Y-wing with like a Jedi starfighter front end or something, or X-wing with a Jedi starfighter front end, something like that. Lots of mixed up stuff. I think I just saw fingerprints on the Gonk droid, like you might see if you put it together.
Who
He's
told
truly Darth Emo,
right?
and he's very, very much Kylo. It'd have been cool to get Adam Driver to do it, but that would have probably been hard. I love how easy they can convey that he's evil with the paint job on that head.
Right.
Just give him some brown circles and You get the texture in his cape.
Yeah,
they did a really good job.
Good, very good. Devastator.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Whoops. Hmm. Gonk. Bobby. There it is. That's the shot that they made a little poster of, and that's the first episode. Very cool.
I'm going to pause it at the cast, so we can talk about that for a minute. So obviously you got Gaten Matarazzo and Tony Revolori, Bobby Monahan, Annie Daniels, C-3PO. You had D. Bradley Baker.
Yeah, I was surprised at how many notables there were.
Matt Wood and Shelby Young, which is really cool.
Matt, when I don't think, did we see Grievous yet?
Not yet, spoiler.
But he does a couple other characters in the first episode. I know that.
Well, we're gonna pause it just for a second. So if you could pause the time stamper.
Oh yeah, let me reset that. Oh, for Theo. Wonder who Theo was or is. All right. Anywho, that was fun.
Very good. I am very much enjoying this project. I mean, I'm really excited. I was really excited about this because obviously we love the What If series for the Marvel, and people like we're wanting a Star Wars version. So this is the closest thing we're probably going to get.
Yeah, that would be interesting to see them do an animated What If type series. But this does have like elements of that, so lots of tongue-in-cheek kind of stuff.
Absolutely. So you got any big events coming up in the near future besides LA Comic Con?
What is there going on? I got something this weekend. I never remember. I have to look at my schedule, my calendar. Stuff blends together now. Oh yeah, I was thinking of going to an outdoor movie on Saturday, see Ferris Bueller, but I haven't decided yet. And Sunday, there's an event at the Santa Monica Pier because it's 100 and it's a different event. It's 115 years old this year. But there's a centennial event at near the Santa Monica Airport because 100 years ago they circumnavigated the globe in an airplane from Clover Field in Santa Monica. So historic kind of thing. I might go check out whatever they're doing there. And then they're doing Saturday is that thing at Scum and Villainy that you sent me the link for, I think.
Yes, that's right.
And then on Sunday, Mark Bernardin's got another thing at Scum and Villainy. So I may be at Scum and Villainy Saturday and Sunday for some fundraiser type activities. So we'll see what's up with that. It should be fun. I was surprised Mark didn't make it to the screening of the 4:30 movie, but I'm sure that they didn't want to pull any attention away. Marion Gigliotti, who was in Clerks and many of the other properties, was there because she lives locally.
So that's great. That was a great picture you sent to me.
So yeah, that was Albert Ortega, the photographer, was there to kind of document it. So I was like, "Here, photographer, take photos for me."
As you should.
He got some great shots at Scum and Villainy. He might have made it to Biggs, but I think it didn't coincide with stuff he had going on. So
Yeah, we want to
Tommy made it.
we want to give some great shout outs to all the phenomenal photographers, David Cruz, Sebastian, Tommy,
Oliver.
Oliver. Yeah, absolutely, and Oliver. I want to give a shout out to Oliver as well, for those who have been watching our Bunta hot seats. Oliver produced and directed those and did the editing. Did a great job with that. Great episode this week with Christopher Sean and Nelson Lee, the Ziono boys.
And the gun show.
Yep, and the gun show.
Classic.
Yes. So Chris Forsyth says, when you see JC, remind him that we need East Coast S&V.
I think would be more likely to get the new location, which he's sort of rumored about possibly happening at some point, for Scum and Villainy, and or another geek-centric endeavor that's going to be possibly in the Valley, before he can do something East Coast. But you never know. He might decide to open something near Smodcastle. The original Smodcastle's in Hollywood, though. But it's all good.
Yeah, absolutely. So, great place out there. Very much appreciate Scum and Villainy for hosting our Hollywood event.
Oh yeah, he was at Kevin's screening. He was sitting a row or two behind me, and he was giving me a hard time for jumping over a rail to get back to my seat. But he was. I had this hat on, and he was wearing his Jedi 40th celebration shirt. So we were twinsies.
Very cool. Very, very cool. Yeah, so thank you everybody for joining us tonight. Don't forget also, we got a whole slew of great meetups coming up. We talked about we're going to be in Nashville in 2 weeks, as well as at LA Comic-Con. But we have a few other ones that we're going to quickly talk about. In November, we have Rhode Island Comic-Con, which is one of our big meetups of the year. We'll be at Dave & Buster's on November the 1st. We usually have a whole section to ourselves. And also, you never know who might show up, because we've had Star Wars guests show up at the last two, from Little Andor to Chris Bartlett to Luminara and Barriss Offee from the prequels showing up. So it will be great. And then also, we will be at New York Comic-Con in 3 weeks at the Monahan Food Hall on the 18th on Friday night. So, please try to make it out to one of our meetups. But of course, as we announced, we will be hosting a not-so-virtual cantina in Japan. Not a bunta, but a not-so-virtual cantina at the Appa Hotel rooftop bar in Tokyo Bay. It's like a stone's throw from Makuhari Messe.
It's like across the street or something.
Yeah, literally from where a lot of us are staying there as well. So it's very nice.
It's like a bridge to walk across to get over there.
So hope to see you all in Japan. It's gonna be a great time. Hopefully they're gonna start to announce some more guests the next couple of weeks, which will be fantastic, and maybe an idea when things are going to go on sale. I did hear rumors that they're going to start to do stuff very early now, especially because everybody's going to Japan, which would be great, get an idea. But we're definitely going to be doing some more news desks in the near future, as well as some other projects as well, as we gear up for Celebration Japan, which is, in like 6 months,
7 months, something like that.
6-7 months now. So
I have to renew my passport still.
Yep.
Mine expires either in December or January. So
Yeah, mine's good till 27, so I'm good for now.
I'd gotten mine for my trip in 2015, so
right.
It coincides with time to renew.
So it's good enough time right now to kick off episode 2 of Rebuild the Galaxy. So make sure you have it all queued up, and whenever you are ready, Jeff, the 10-second countdown.
Don't skip any intros.
Yes, you can now renew online. They actually did. I saw a post about it. Did you? Was it you who posted that?
I think I did. I gotta find mine. That's the problem. I don't know where I put it. I have it. It's just not for where I thought it was.
Right.
And that makes renewing more difficult. So
yes,
we'll see. Again, don't skip any intros or any recaps. So that's the other thing is like how the juxtaposition with like that planet and how like it must have been like this big,
right?
Versus like the mountains are giant because of how small the pieces look on it. It's kind of funny. Yeah, so it was a Chris mentioned about the arm, his white arm or gray arm. Is that a mechanical arm? It kind of has that vibe, but he was shooting force lightning out of it, wasn't
right.
he? And isn't that like a no or some nonsense?
Rip you apart piece by piece.
Yeah. Funny to see Evil Ray. And again, that's something they touched on in, Rise of Skywalker. Darth Ray. Oh, give me that. Huh. Barbarian.
Yep.
I like how they made Bob's facial deco like it was a older minifig, like literally had been played with so much that his stuff is starting to wear off because that is like a throwback to an older Lego animated episode or show or whatever.
I love how he turned the
it was a set.
The gun into the mouse droids.
Oh yeah. Narc droids, you mean?
Yeah.
Gonk. He says gonk. It's not a lot. There's a good shot of the tie wings or whatever they're called. Uh-oh. Oh. That's a great line. Ooh.
It's like very much Razor Crest.
It's sort of clone jump ship or landing ship, or whatever they're called, too. Which if it was in the other room, we could see one hanging on my ceiling. I think both times I've watched this, I thought he said "fuck" right there. It says like "fack" or something.
Punch it.
Barbarian. Pew pew. So that having all the sound effect libraries available really sells this stuff as Star Wars too.
Yeah.
You get
Well, especially if that Wood is very much involved with it.
With the Wilhelm scream in that first episode, and then all these sounds. That was like pod racer sounds, and yeah, that because it's a pod racer now, of course. Sebulba's engines.
Yep.
Combined, and the pew pew.
That was a chicken walker.
Yep. That's a great thing to like open up kids to the idea that they could just, do whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Not that they wouldn't have figured out themselves. I mean, I would think most kids specifically that have Lego sets, have made other things out of them. Especially like when I was younger, there weren't as many like branded specific things. It was like you get a bunch of bricks and then you make something kind of thing. Or whatever it was made, then dismantled. And now it's time to make whatever.
Well, they cracked the jokes about that, if you remember, like towards the end of the Lego movie, how like President Business wanted everything to be the same, putting the Craggle over everything and making it, not so you can't like add things and change things up. And, they really pushed the envelope of that storyline.
Right.
And how everything was awesome.
Oh, yeah. Earworm.
Mm-hmm. Those are the Coruscant's almost like a holocron.
Yeah, it's got a lot of kind of properties of other things.
Sith breakers.
Yeah. It's not on the corner. It's like a base stone or something. I don't know. Semantics. Speaking of semantics, where's the shirt graphic? Is it in here?
It's a great one. I look forward to wearing that in Japan. Unless he gets announced for Rhode Island Comic Con.
I love how earlier he said, "Don't call me Jedi Bob," and that's just like Jedi Bob, Jedi Bob, Jedi Bob.
Right. Too bad. Time to train.
Oh. I felt that this character sounded a lot like Ezra from Rebels.
Like Taylor
But
Gray?
it's definitely not Taylor Gray, but it does.
Yeah.
He has a similar tone.
Still calling out for Porkins.
Yep. Battery droid. some armaments and guns in them.
He has some juice.
Yeah. And that voice.
Serves the purpose of the sidekick droid.
Mm-hmm. Well, having him talk makes it just a little bit more kooky.
Yeah.
So Vanessa is a weird planet name, but I guess that's a callback to an older story or something. Forget what it said in that article. But there are a couple articles on StarWars.com that talk about this and some of the Easter eggs and things. The worst ones.
He walks the worst bounty hunters.
That's great. That has Kevin seen this? I didn't notice if he posted anything about it.
Yeah, but I do know that Margot is going to be at LA Comic Con. She's going to stop by to meet up.
Cool.
She's doing a table
as a Ewok bounty hunter. She could change her costume a little bit.
Absolutely.
Table with whom?
With Christine Galley and
nice.
Suzanne. I forgot her last name. The other Jawa.
Yeah. I love the little like sails on the sides of the ships.
Yeah.
Something that's totally unnecessary in space.
Very much like the ship from Last Starfighter.
Huh.
Now, if we could do the Death Blossom, that would be fantastic.
Evil C-3PO is another great callback to the prequels or sequels.
Yeah. Why do you give us the odds? That's just cruel.
Huh. Yeah.
It's like 000.
Huh. Oh. Yeah. It's a very Earth-looking planet.
Yep.
This I thought was sort of pointless because theoretically that ship should just be able to go in the water.
Right.
And not need to have some boat element added to it. I do like the kind of kooky droid sidekick idea.
Yeah.
And having him talk makes him a little more kooky.
I love the Mos Eisley Cantina Marina.
Marina Cantina?
Yeah.
This is cool. They're pod racing over the water is pretty cool.
Max Rebo.
Oh yeah. Uh-oh.
Okay. The fact that Mark doing the voice for this is so awesome.
Well, he was in the first episode also.
Yeah.
As like regular Luke. But now he gets to go off the rails as Surfer Luke or whatever they call him.
No autographs. That's a great reference.
Big time. Yeah. There we go.
Oh, they got Zori, which is hilarious.
There she is.
From Rise.
And then the modal nodes have Hawaiian shirts on.
Yeah, but look who the bartender is. The waiter is a Droidica.
Droidica! Purple one.
There you go. He likes you. I like you too.
So backwards. That was, I'm pretty sure the Dr. Evazan was Breckin Meyer from Robot Chicken and a lot of other voice stuff. I didn't check the credits. I should have.
Right.
I know that Anthony did C-3PO and Mark did Luke and some of those, but I haven't gotten into the minutia. Huh.
That's really your pitch. I love the milk. The blue milk is all cartons. And you got Maul being voiced by Sam Witwer.
Yes. Over the top version of Maul.
Yep. Just like Lando.
Maul like Paul. Huh.
JB.
Huh. SG. There's surfboards everywhere. Oh. Oh. funny that he built it as a tie wing.
Right.
As opposed to just a wall.
Right. Reminds me of the carbonite imprisonment that Maul was in the Clone Wars season 4.
Oh yeah, they had him in that box thing.
The Dark Falcon.
Yeah. I love how it starts out as a silhouette and remains.
That's quite ominous. Oh, Sith.
They had that set at the Lego store when I was there over the weekend.
Okay, Darth Nubs.
Yeah, that was the one. I was telling Mike about it. I'm like, you're gonna love Darth Nubs.
Darth Jedi Jawa.
Yep.
And the most frightening of them all,
Darth Jar Jar.
He's gonna hurt you.
I like how he called the Moma Nadon or whatever his name is.
Darth Hammerhead.
Darth Hammerhead.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know your real name. I'm sorry. But yeah, leaning into the Darth Jar Jar thing was classic. Oh yeah. Hmm. Yep. And there's episode 2. So just under an hour.
Excellent. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us for this episode and the first 2 episodes. Absolutely love it. Excited about the future of the Lego series. But next week we're going to watch the next 2 episodes, 3 and 4. Space it out a little bit so everybody has a good time with that. But Jeff, we're glad that you are back, and glad you could come back for a great episode like we just had.
Yeah, it's fun. I enjoy, like I said, the Lego stuff. Pretty much every one I've seen, I've got a kick out of. They do, like we were saying, all the tongue-in-cheek stuff and the good-hearted ribbing, as it were, of certain things that we've all discussed in the past. I really like that kind of thing. But it was fun to be back on the show. I'll be on producing, at least with Mark and Ashley, for the last 2 episodes of Rebels Revisited on Monday and the following Monday. So I might end up on camera. But I'll be there for sure, taking care of stuff and, ease back into doing some of that.
Cool.
See what happens.
Yep. Well, we'd love for you to join us for the next 2 episodes next week. Hopefully we'll have Dave back with us. We can have the Amigos together for the night.
Yeah. And hopefully he will have seen at least the first 2 episodes.
Yeah, so he understands what's going on. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We greatly appreciate you joining us. Don't forget that we are on the Virtual Cantina Network at YouTube, which is youtube.com/@Virtual Cantina Network. And on Sunday, we have another episode of unifying force. And then back with Rebel Revisited, as we mentioned, it's getting closer to Clone Wars Revisited. But also, just want to remember, if you're watching this on YouTube after the fact, please like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Get your notifications of when we are live or when anything goes up on the Virtual Cantina Network. We've been posting quite a bit onto the page as of late, including some shorts. We've been doing some really great little videos thanks to our good friend Scooby. But anything you want to close out with, Jeff?
Just look forward to the next 2 episodes. A lot of fun. Good stuff, and like I said, I look forward to seeing. I've only watched them one time, so it'll be cool to catch up again and see what's going on. And I probably will try to join you guys next week. So
fantastic. So from Jeff and I, we like to say, may the force be with you.
May the force be with you, sir. Mm-hmm. No, wait, that's the other way around.
Yeah, that's it.
He's the bad guy. Where's the graphic? Warp. See ya.